Hello.
Hello.
Oh
I'm
gosh,
here.
my volume is so low.
Oh, how's my volume?
Here we go. Here we are again. Another screening.
Yeah, I was just gonna say what number screening this is. I don't even know. It's been a lot of screenings though, right?
It has been a lot of screenings. Let's see. Our first screening was in.
We should have a running count of
It was in March of 2014.
Yeah, so that's. I think we only
So
skipped like 2 or something. So what's the
let's see.
math on that?
The 20.
Yeah.
So 7 times 12. 84 screenings, and then March, April, May, June, July, August. So we're on screening like 89.
Wow.
I think we've only skipped like 1 though. So maybe 88.
Okay. So
Screening
in
number
a year,
88.
in a year it'll be 100.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
It's a lot of Minute Movies screenings. A lot of
know,
Minute
yeah.
Movies attendees.
Yeah.
Welcome, welcome. Kirk says he never got the
Oh.
link. I actually just sent it like 5 minutes ago.
So you probably did get the link. You
So
just didn't
check
check
again.
it at the right time.
Let me.
Sarah's in Wisconsin,
Oh.
right?
No, I messed up 5 minutes ago.
Oh.
I am in Wisconsin. Let me.
Is that your excuse?
That's my excuse. It's, Wisconsin is. Email works way different out here.
Yeah.
You know.
Okay. So there's only 3 films today. So
yeah, we only have a few films.
Yeah, kind of like hot summer days.
I know, I was thinking about that. I was like, man, people must just be enjoying the summer out there and not making minute movies, which is okay. You can enjoy your summer.
Yeah.
And in a couple months when it's fall, make some minute movies.
Yeah, I think I'm just too much of a perfectionist to have made a minute movie about perfect. Like I couldn't, it just didn't, it didn't happen.
I was just having too perfect of a time to make a minute movie. I learned how to water ski.
That's a better reason than perfectionism.
It is. Oh, maybe. Yeah.
Oh, let's see.
Yeah, I didn't have my phone on me hardly at all because, I was actually swimming a lot and doing stuff outside and left my phone hither and yon. Charlie, I just sent it again because I hadn't sent it properly the first time. So it should be there like now, hopefully. Fingers crossed. And I don't see Chris in the comments yet, but I sent it to him too, and he also submitted.
And he's first up, right?
And he's first up. So he... Yeah.
So we're just...
So I guess we'll wait till whoever gets the email first can pop in, and then we'll just start with them, maybe.
Oh, okay.
If that's okay for the
screening. Yeah, I can
tech
rearrange
guy.
that. the tech guy? Me?
You, my tech guy. All
Yeah.
right. Well, we've got both Kirk and Charlie backstage. So maybe we'll start with Kirk and then Charlie. And then if Chris comes, we'll do his last. And if he doesn't, then we'll still do his last.
Alrighty. Cool. That's awesome.
Are you ready in the other order?
Yes, I am, actually. I'll sit.
Awesome. All right, Kirk, I am adding you into our stream.
Well, hello.
Hello.
Hey.
How are you doing?
Good.
Doing good. Doing good.
Yes, both Sarah and I just, yeah, we're here. We're here.
Here.
Dealing with traffic, and it's like, am I going to be here on time? I hope Sarah's on time, but we both are mostly on time.
Mostly on time.
Huh.
Yeah.
Well,
It's my fault you weren't on time, so you can just blame me for that.
Okay, I'll blame you for that.
So how are you doing, Kirk?
I am doing well. I have to say that I very nearly didn't submit a short for this month.
And we're so glad that that didn't happen.
So glad that you did.
That you're here now.
Perfect. The theme just didn't really speak to me. You know, usually I can come up with a story pretty quickly, but for some reason I really struggled with Perfect. And then the thing is that I had a 37-month record, you know, a streak of continuous submissions.
Can't break that streak.
Yeah, I just didn't want to break that streak, and so now it's 38. But
that's a social media.
I kind of shoehorned something in there. I managed to find something that kind of interested me that I could kind of shoehorn into Perfect. And in classic Kirk, you know, I managed to do something completely last minute, but also be almost 3 times too long.
Did you also do elaborate practical special effects?
No, so there aren't any of those. Nothing too elaborate.
There's nothing new.
Nothing too
new.
Elaborate.
Nothing new technically.
Well, there's something new in that it's very different from what I usually do.
Okay.
And it's actually a short documentary.
Oh.
And so it's different in that respect.
So a new filmmaking style for you.
Yeah, quite a new filmmaking style. But yeah, so that's kind of the backstory of this one.
So I was in a conversation just yesterday with some old guys like me, and talking about the phenomenon.
You're not that old.
Not that old. I guess it depends on perspective. Streaks in social media, and this guy was like trying to get his sons, like to put down the phone. Right, we're here at the cabin. Put your phone in the bucket. You can check it 1 time a day, just to just because. And the kid was like freaking out. I was like, what's the deal? And it's like, because it's Streak, because there's like Snapchat, I think.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Trying to think if there's other social medias that.
Are there more than just Snapchat?
Yeah, but that like you have to like they give you a running total of how many posts you've done, like how many days you've posted, and if you miss a day, like breaks your streak, and so it's really addicting, and kids cannot do that. So yeah, anyway, we got you hooked.
Yep.
It's only a
Minute Movies is just as addicting as Snapchat.
Yep.
Yeah. Fortunately, it's not every day.
Fortunately.
Yeah. So anyway, yeah. Oh, I guess.
Should we watch it?
Roll it.
Yeah, let's watch it.
Let's roll it.
August 12th, 2021 was the 40th anniversary of the release of the IBM PC. The IBM PC represented a perfect storm of timing, features, cost, and open specifications to encourage software and hardware development that led to unprecedented success, with sales exceeding IBM's expectations by about 800%. At its height, 40,000 machines a month were being shipped. While the IBM PC was available with 3 different operating systems, the overwhelming majority of these machines ran on PC-DOS, which was a licensed version of MS-DOS from Microsoft. As a result, the vast majority of games from the early 80s on through the mid-90s were developed for DOS. So, on this anniversary, let's look at some of these DOS games. You can see from the command line that we are currently at the root of the C drive. By convention, the C drive in DOS is the hard drive, with drives A and B being floppy disk drives. Before hard drives were commonplace, the A drive was often used as the boot drive for DOS, and if you had a B drive, it would be used for storing programs. However, it ultimately became the norm for the C drive to be both the boot drive and the drive used for program storage. Let's see what we have on this drive. To do this, we will issue the dir command, which will list all directories or folders, as well as all files in the current directory. As you can see, there are many folders on this drive. We will enter the bzone folder by entering the command cd bzone, which stands for change directory bzone. Next, we will issue the dir command again to see the files inside. To start the game Battlezone, I'm going to run the go.bat batch file by simply typing go followed by enter. Battlezone is an Atari first-person shooter tank game created in 1980 as a coin arcade game and was ported to DOS in 1983. The game utilizes vector graphics and, according to Wikipedia, is considered to be the first truly successful 3D game. The player can move the tank forwards and backwards and steer left and right. The game was adapted as a Bradley fighting vehicle gunnery simulator for the US Army, although only 2 such simulators were produced. Ultimately, it is not possible to quit the game, so I'll have to join you again after restarting DOSBox. Next, we'll look at Doom by id Software. Doom is considered to be one of the most significant games in video game history, and by late 1995 is thought to have been installed on more machines than Windows 95. However, ironically, the game was not initially sold on retail shelves. Instead, the first 9 levels of the game were released for free as shareware, with the full version of the game available only through mail order. Let's take a look at this game. Doom helped define the basic first-person shooter formula that is still in use to this day. Finally, let's look at Quake, also by id Software. One of the last big titles released on DOS, Quake was a true, fully 3D game, unlike Doom that had preceded it. With Doom, many of the game elements, such as enemies and the player themselves, were 2D sprites, and the game engine was actually based on 2D level maps with height offsets. Because of this, the player can't look up or down, rooms can't be built on top of each other, and doors can only open or close up and down. Quake did away with all these constraints. Here's a quick look at that game.
That was pretty awesome.
Thanks.
Yeah, fun little video game history.
Flashbacks.
Yeah. No, I just thought it was interesting to see those three distinct periods and the
Yeah.
evolution of, it's kind of a tough thing to cover in a short period of time, even though it was by Minute Movie standards an epic.
So,
But so narrowing it down to first person shooters, showing how, the very earliest first person shooters from, evolved from arcade games onto Doom from 1993 and then Quake in 1996,
Yeah.
all running on DOS.
So were you actively like gaming? Like, were you playing those games in their heyday?
I played a fair bit of Doom 2, which to this day is my favorite game of all time. Which didn't differ very significantly from Doom. Basically, they introduced one new weapon and they increased the size of the levels or maps because hardware had evolved to the point that they could, use that much more memory. And so Doom is a little bit more spacious than, or Doom 2 is a little more spacious than Doom was. So that's the game that I played the most as a kid.
Did you ever get a perfect score?
A perfect score?
Yeah.
No. So
No.
playing as a kid, I couldn't really, because I was pretty young when Doom 2 came out, and so I wasn't able to play that game very well. A lot of times I would just enter in the God mode cheat and just play that way. And it was harder back then to get data on where all the secrets were and all those sorts of things, and so
you had to find them yourself or have a friend who knew where they were.
Yeah, exactly. And so consequently,
couldn't just
I played.
on Reddit.
Yeah, so I played Doom subsequently on ultra violence difficulty, and gotten all kills, all secrets, and whatnot. But at the but when I was a kid, no.
So you did get a perfect score.
Yeah.
Ultimately.
The one other thing that's kind of interesting is if you look carefully at the credits for Quake, you'll see that all sounds and music were done by Trent Reznor and the Nine Inch Nails.
Oh wow!
Wow.
That makes perfect sense.
And In fact, even the sounds of the main character jumping, that's Trent Reznor. That's his
Oh, yeah.
voice.
The grunting.
Yeah, the grunting.
Wow, that's fun. Yeah, it was fun to watch the the graphics evolve over time too.
Yeah, exactly.
Cool.
Yeah, the graphics and otherwise the capabilities of the game engine.
Yeah.
The Quake game engine still lives on to this day in some forms, because it's evolved into the game engine that id Software continues to use for Doom. And also, my understanding is that it was the basis of the Unity game engine, which is one of the most common game engines in use today.
Yeah.
And so some of that code still persists.
Cool. So Charlie's curious how you, yeah.
How I got all the old games.
Yeah.
Well, so the source of all three games was different. So for Battlezone, that's abandonware, and I was able to just download that for free online. For Doom, I bought Doom from the site GOG, which is something of games. I forget what the first G stands for. Downloaded it from there. And then for Quake, I actually bought an original 1996 DOS copy of the game on CD.
Wow.
Got it from eBay.
Wow. And you did this for this documentary?
No.
Okay. Just
Yeah. No, it's
You just-
something I've done over time.
yeah. Okay. Cool.
So,
Because
yeah,
you have a history of buying things specifically. To make
this is true. Yeah. No, in this case, this was just, again, kind of a perfect storm. And that I had just recently kind of gotten a lot of this stuff set up and running by the time that this month came around. And then August 12th, again, being the anniversary of the IBM PC, which it's not that everybody bought IBM PCs, but the IBM PC basically became the standard, and all other PCs that were released had to be IBM compatible, or else they just weren't competitive.
Yeah.
And so consequently, every machine out there was running DOS on 16-bit, CPUs, either the 8088 or the 8086 Intel CPU. And all these games were, that's what they ran on.
Cool.
I'm always impressed at how efficient the coding is for machines of that era. Compared to what we got on our desks today, is they're it's kind of like comparing to the computers that went up to the moon, right? It's just the software ran really efficiently and smooth. Relatively. I think it's always been frustrating. I think every time I've ever gotten on a computer, I'm like, why is it so dang slow?
Yeah.
And it's because the software coders, just they utilize the hardware. Let's just say that.
Yeah. And yet in gaming, it's pretty much always been pushing the envelope of the capabilities of the machine in particular. And certainly that was true back in the day with these machines. The very fact to run something that looks like Quake on a 16-bit, processor, that with 16 megabytes of RAM is just incredible. The fact that they were able to code that. The
Yeah.
other thing that I would have loved to have included in this short would have been the story of how DOS got, became the de facto standard OS on the IBM PC, which is actually a very interesting story. But it would have, increased the length of the video, even more, and just didn't have time for that.
Can't get all the details into a minute movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But interesting story. Still with a lot of controversy involved. I just didn't have time for it.
Cool. Well, thanks.
Yeah.
It was,
Yeah.
fun to watch.
Thanks, Kirk.
Certainly. Thank you.
Yeah.
Cool. Oh, bye.
Bye. Bye, Kirk.
Um,
Are we ready for Charlie? Next up.
I'm ready for Charlie.
Are you ready? I'm ready.
Is Charlie ready?
I hope so, because I'm adding him in. Hi, Charlie.
Hi,
Charlie.
Hey.
I want to continue a little bit on Kirk's story because, my brother-in-law had a big enterprise, and the first computer he had to reinforce his floor because it was so heavy to
Oh,
bring
wow.
it. Yeah.
Oh my God.
And then he came with smaller and smaller, and I was following it, and I said, I wish I had a use for that. I was very interested. I wanted to use that. I could not find a use to use a computer when it just come out. After a while, I found genealogy, and that was my first computer for genealogy. I never did the really game, unless a little bit of Tomb Raider, this kind of thing. But otherwise, but now I wish I can say, what can I do without the computer? Now it's the opposite now. It's the opposite.
know, right?
Everything I go back to, I can do this on the computer. No,
Yeah.
I want to do without the computer.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's my
It's
little story.
amazing how quickly, everything changed.
Yeah.
In, just in my lifetime.
Yeah, even
Things
in
like
your
that,
lifetime. Wow. Think about mine.
Yeah. I remember teaching, I was in Spain teaching a class, a bunch of 16-year-olds in the class. It was an English class. And I said that I didn't get a cell phone, not even a smartphone, but a cell phone until I was 16, until I was their age. And I was just like a teacher that kind of came in once a week to that classroom. And so they asked their regular teacher the next day, like, how old is Sarah that she didn't have a cell phone until she was our age? Oh my gosh. And I was only like 21 at the time too.
Wow.
Well,
Yeah.
before cell phone, before everything, traveling a lot, and every country is a different system to phone. So in Italy, you have to have the gettoni. It's a little kind of a little coin, and you buy and you full of pocket, and you put it to phone to your parents. It was terrible, but it's another time. Yeah. Now it's so easy, and you see everybody. You see everybody when you phone.
Yeah.
Before you had only the voice, and now you can. And I remember I say, one day maybe you're going to see. It's not possible.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like a Dick Tracy.
And now it's normal, kind of. Yeah.
Yeah. I saw a demonstration of the Microsoft HoloLens, and you like make an avatar of yourself, and then you can be in a meeting and everyone's wearing like 3D goggles. And you can look around the table and see everyone else's avatars sitting in the room with you and like talking with you.
It's a little scary.
It's a little scary. Like, it was kind of creepy, but.
So that'd be a good like Second Life was like that. So it'd be an interesting little mini documentary to do that's kind of like what Kirk did, except for the first person meeting or like user like in in virtual space, right? Where you can walk around. Like, are you familiar with Second Life?
But I've heard about Second Life, yeah.
But it's basically what Sarah's talking about, except more, you know, it's not with a headset, you know, but you can use your mouse and move and look around, kind of like how Google Maps is, you know, how you can, you know, 3D, 360. Anyway, but it was like that, you know,
but this is like, you know, Microsoft advertising for how people are going to do virtual meetings now.
Yeah.
So you can have some people in the room, and then some people, their avatars in the room.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
And you're all wearing like HoloLenses.
Oh, man,
and you have like files that you can like pull up a file on your computer and put it in the air next to you.
Whoa.
To like show people.
So you could pick like T-Rex as your avatar. If you want to dominate the meeting.
I mean, the examples they use for like, you know, based on themselves, because.
So the next thing would be not only the avatar, but the smell of the people. You can smell them as well, you know, through the phone.
Smell-o-vision.
Yeah.
Well, should we watch your film? What's your film about? Do you want to introduce it?
My film is from a longer film that I did for somebody on that Perfect Sunday, let's say. Perfect Sunday was nice because it was the reopening of Seattle, kind of. They made this special event for the reopening of the Seattle. At that time, I was still okay, and then it went up again, contamination, you know. And,
yeah, I've been watching that chart. Just like it's going up like this right now.
Yeah. So it was a nice event. It was really a nice event, and I enjoyed that, and it gave me a lot of work to do that. And that's only a short of what I did, kind of try to make it interesting in a few minutes. Yeah.
Cool. Let's watch it.
And let your worries surround you. Go to the movies, the Cinerama! Downtown, I bet you know a place that never closes the 13 coins. Where? Downtown. Just listen to the rhythm of the chains of bossa nova. You'll be dancing with them before the night is over. Happy again. The lights are much brighter here. You get organic food and local craft beer when you're downtown. Everything is organic downtown. Right in the monorail downtown. We are too big to feel down. Find your lady downtown. Downtown. Everybody, here's your cues now. Downtown. Downtown. But how can you thank someone who is taking you from cram to book you? It isn't easy, but I'll try. Love is on the line, no need to make it. You can knock it down, watch it take it. We're gonna make it after all. Downtown. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you. Maxwell, Jeremy, John Kellogg, and of course Pete. I am LA. Don't forget there's merchandise right over there. We got D'Angelo's and Zany next. Stick around. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going downtown. Say goodbye. Welcome back, Seattle. Thank you. Times never seem so good. I've been inclined to think we're finally out of the woods, sweet Seattle of mine.
It's fun.
Yeah, it was,
Yeah, it was.
it was a nice afternoon. Yeah. Mhm.
Nice.
And of course, when you do like this, and you try to find the best moment, but it's always hard. I mean, you don't get the essence really of the event, kind of. Yeah, you want it, but it's because when I film, I didn't film to make that small short thing. I made it to make a longer one, which I gave it to the person who needed. So if I would do it again, I would thinking, oh yeah, I put this, I put that, and do the B-roll more important than the main role, kind of, I would say.
Yeah. Yeah, you think about it differently depending on
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
shooting for.
But I want to be part of the minute movie, and I say, oh no, I have to do something, and I.
Well, we're glad you did.
Yeah,
That was nice.
yeah.
Unfortunately,
Especially, I don't know next month, because I normally, if everything goes okay, I'll be in Paris next month. Yeah, I go for 3 weeks.
So
If
you'll have
nothing changed, yeah.
So we'll have an international submission then, right?
Yeah, maybe, yeah.
Yeah, submit from Paris.
Nice.
Yeah, make the word trip. That'd be good.
Yeah.
So how's Paris doing these days regarding?
Well, like here, or is it going up also? Kind of thing, and so it's scary. To go there is okay, but will they let me come back afterwards?
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the U.S. isn't open to European tourists right now.
Yeah, as they say, it's not recommended for the moment to go in France. It's not recommended. It's not forbidden, but it's not recommended. I hope it doesn't change. That's the thing.
Yeah. Yeah, hopefully it goes back down, but yeah, who knows? Who knows what'll happen? Yeah.
And on your side, did you do something also for this? You have something to show.
No, we don't.
Charlie keeping us accountable.
Come on, I push you also. Yeah, a little bit of pressure there. Come on.
Yeah, no, you're right.
I don't. I thought about doing something. I shot some footage and then didn't edit it. Yeah, I should put it together. Hopefully it fits with next month's theme, and then I can just edit next month.
I have a big thing coming up on November 7th, I think. November 7th. It's going to be something like half streaming, half live, and with a show and the thing. It's going to be complicated. So maybe I'll talk to you about it some other time.
Yeah.
Can you say any more about it?
Yeah, it's a fundraiser for the Moisture Festival, but we show some kind of things that are already taped and something that would be live.
Okay.
So, and to do with several cameras and things like this, that would get
That sounds fun.
yeah, fun, but not easy.
No, so is it a virtual? Is the audience virtual, or are they in person too?
No, the audience would be there.
Okay, cool.
The audience would be there. That's why it makes it all
Knock on
almost.
wood, right?
Yeah, that's the thing. You have all your things has to work,
Yeah. Back to live TV days. I mean, I remember
Yeah.
it's like they used to do this like a long time ago in
Yeah.
early days of television, right? Was live broadcast.
I did my first TV in Germany, first time TV in color. We had 1 week rehearsal. 1 week rehearsal, and we rehearse, and you get nervous more that the time come closer to the moment, you know. And the moment arrived, we just start to work with my brothers and doing things, and they say, "Stop, stop! We have no more films." We had no more film. We had to
Oh no.
restart. Yeah, that's
Oh,
terrible.
no.
After 1 week of rehearsal.
So it was shot on film?
Yeah, yeah, because that was the first time in color.
Ah, wow, cool.
So they had to choose a color. Not every color would work, you know. At the time, it was
Wow.
complicated stuff.
So you had
Yeah.
to plan the costumes around what colors showed up.
Yeah.
Wow.
Red was not good because then it comes too much, you know, things like this. Yeah,
Huh.
it's another time. It's quite some
Yeah.
time ago.
Speaking of history.
Yeah,
Speaking
yeah.
of history.
But that was nice, Kirk. Also, you learn a little of history. Like this was a good document, kind of good.
Yeah. Yeah. So I guess this is a perfect day. So I didn't ask Kirk what tied perfect in with his what he would say about his documentary being perfect. But I guess the PC was a perfect, right?
Perfect. Perfect technology.
Perfect
Yeah,
technology.
yeah. It's strange. It seems like nobody was perfect. Yes, nobody would do perfect.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And see, I'm not perfect either because I'm too much of a perfectionist. So
Yeah, let's find an easy one for the next one then.
Yeah.
yeah.
That
Well,
perfect would be easy, but
I know, right?
we'll have to find an easier one.
If you perfect it out, yeah.
Oh, Kirk answered. The IBM PC was a perfect storm.
Perfect storm. Yes.
Yeah.
He did say that. Yeah, it was actually. Worked out pretty well for Mr. Bill Gates.
It did indeed.
So let's see.
All right. Shall we? Thank you, Charlie. It's good to see you.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, good to see you too. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Shall we watch Chris's? I haven't seen him in the comments or backstage, so shall we just play it?
Yeah. See if I can. Sure, we should just play it. Another perfect film.
I did in his submission. He said that the audio is 100% created in post.
Okay. Interesting.
Shot with his Nikon D3300 DSLR and an 18-200 millimeter lens.
Okay.
Those are the notes.
Technical notes.
And let's play it.
Okay.
What a perfect day.
Interesting. Yeah. Perfect day. So it was an interesting film to watch. I thought it was contemplative.
Hmm.
You know, it's kind of daydreamy. You know, you just watch it and just kind of get lost in thoughts.
Yeah.
So for me.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's an interesting. So yeah, it was like a perfect, like lazy day kind of feeling
Yeah, like a Sunday afternoon
without much to do, but just walk around and
walk
look
through
at,
the garden.
just, yeah, just check out, go
Yeah.
through the neighborhood.
Yeah.
Wonder what the people on those yachts' lives is like, you know. So,
Their lazy Sunday afternoon is a little different.
yeah, yeah. So
Yeah.
Kirk wonders where he got the sounds from. Oh,
Yeah.
backing up one comment of Kirk's is his perfect IBM PC was a perfect storm. Yeah. So from the film itself, yes.
Yep.
But back to Chris's film.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wonder where he got the sounds from. If it was just him recording it live, or he got it off the
No, well, he
mountain.
said all the sounds are 100% post.
Yeah, but what does that mean? I mean, obviously they're recorded from somewhere, but
Well, it means that either I guess he could have recorded them separately from the video, or he just found
yeah,
them online.
yeah. It's like
Yeah.
Charlie's. Yeah, it's like a 4th of July.
Yeah. Yep. Speaking of lazy Sunday afternoons.
I know, right?
little bit of that vibe going on right now. Well, should we watch all three again before we reveal next
Watch
month's
all of the films again.
all of the films again, or should we reveal next month's
Do we
theme
have
and
time for?
then
Do we have
watch
time
them
for
again?
all the films?
All the films.
So, well, your call, Sarah.
Let's watch them. Let's watch them again first. Just like old times when we used to watch them again before revealing the theme.
Just like old times.
Just like old times. I know, speaking of old times, I was just thinking about, like, we were talking about trying to figure out in-person screenings again soon. And now with the Delta variant, I'm like, I don't know when that's going to happen. We'll have to just see how the next month goes.
Yeah, they're shutting things down again.
Yeah. Yeah, we're, at least in Washington State, up higher than our previous spike. Not quite as high as last winter, though, which is good. But, yeah. I mean, my brother-in-law got COVID, even though he's vaccinated. So, cautionary tale to wearing your masks. But let's rewatch the film. Think about happier things.
These perfect films.
These perfect films.
Yeah.
No film has ever been as perfect. All right, here we go.
August 12th, 2021 was the 40th anniversary of the release of the IBM PC. The IBM PC represented a perfect storm of timing, features, cost, and open specifications to encourage software and hardware development that led to unprecedented success, with sales exceeding IBM's expectations by about 800%. At its height, 40,000 machines a month were being shipped. While the IBM PC was available with 3 different operating systems, the overwhelming majority of these machines ran on PC-DOS, which was a licensed version of MS-DOS from Microsoft. As a result, the vast majority of games from the early 80s on through the mid-90s were developed for DOS. So, on this anniversary, let's look at some of these DOS games. You can see from the command line that we are currently at the root of the C drive. By convention, the C drive in DOS is the hard drive, with drives A and B being floppy disk drives. Before hard drives were commonplace, the A drive was often used as the boot drive for DOS, and if you had a B drive, it would be used for storing programs. However, it ultimately became the norm for the C drive to be both the boot drive and the drive used for program storage. Let's see what we have on this drive. To do this, we will issue the dir command, which will list all directories or folders, as well as all files in the current directory. As you can see, there are many folders on this drive. We will enter the bzone folder by entering the command cd bzone, which stands for change directory bzone. Next, we will issue the dir command again to see the files inside. To start the game Battle Zone, I'm going to run the go.bat batch file by simply typing go followed by enter. Battlezone is an Atari first-person shooter tank game created in 1980 as a coin arcade game and was ported to DOS in 1983. The game utilizes vector graphics and, according to Wikipedia, is considered to be the first truly successful 3D game. The player can move the tank forwards and backwards and steer left and right. The game was adapted as a Bradley fighting vehicle gunnery simulator for the US Army, although only 2 such simulators were produced. Ultimately, it is not possible to quit the game, so I'll have to join you again after restarting DOSBox. Next, we'll look at Doom by id Software. Doom is considered to be one of the most significant games in video game history, and by late 1995 is thought to have been installed on more machines than Windows 95. However, ironically, the game was not initially sold on retail shelves. Instead, the first 9 levels of the game were released for free as shareware, with the full version of the game available only through mail order. Let's take a look at this game. Doom helped define the basic first-person shooter formula that is still in use to this day. Finally, let's look at Quake, also by id Software. One of the last big titles released on DOS, Quake was a true, fully 3D game, unlike Doom that had preceded it. With Doom, many of the game elements, such as enemies and the player themselves, were 2D sprites, and the game engine was actually based on 2D level maps with height offsets. Because of this, the player can't look up or down, rooms can't be built on top of each other, and doors can only open or close up and down. Quake did away with all these constraints. Here's a quick look at that game.
let your worries surround you, go to the movies, the Cinerama! Downtown, I bet you know a place that never closes the 13 going. Where? Downtown. Just listen to the rhythm of the chains of bossa nova. You'll be dancing with us before the night is over. Happy again. The lights are much brighter here. You get organic food and local craft beer when you're downtown. Everything is okay. Downtown. Right in the monorail. Downtown. We are too big to feel down. Modulate downtown. Downtown. Everybody, here's your tunes now. Downtown. Downtown. But how can you thank someone who is taking you from crayon to perfume? It isn't easy, but I'll try. Love is on the run, no need to make it. You can knock it down, watch it take it. We're gonna make it after all. Downtown. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you. Maxwell, Jeremy, John Kellogg, and of course Pete. I am LA. Don't forget there's merchandise right over there. We got DHOs invading next. Stick around. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going downtown. Thank you, Welcome to Seattle. Thank you. Everybody, sweet Seattle of mine, sweet Seattle of mine. Good times never seem so good. What? I've been inclined to think we're finally out of the woods, sweet Seattle of mine.
Another perfectly executed minute movies.
Another perfectly executed minute movies. The most perfect minute movies there ever was.
Ever. Yeah,
Ever.
that's a true statement.
All right. Shall we see what the next minute movies will be?
Yeah, we should. I've you know, been having success with the reliable Free Ballard.
Good old
Gabriel.
reliable.
Good old, yeah. So, got a new set of like words. You
So
ready?
words?
You ready?
Ready.
Is
Ready.
Is that a good spot?
Yeah.
Cool. Live. Okay, let's see. Which one are you voting for?
Just do it.
Do it. Hybrid.
Hybrid.
Okay.
Mm.
I think that's a Chris word. I think. Pretty sure he picked that one. Maybe, if I remember correctly, I might be wrong about that, but hybrid. Okay, that's kind of a little techie. Hybrid. Makes you
Or
think.
fantastical. Like, isn't a centaur a hybrid between a human and a horse?
Yeah, I know. Like it's, but that's still a technical thing, right? Sort of.
Is it technical?
Yeah, it is.
Very technical. Right.
But combining two, it's like, what is hybrid? I think it's like taking, it's interesting. I was watching, there's a documentary on Netflix called On Natural. It's about CRISPR. And that's how they take gene splicing, like taking a little bit of genes from one thing and sticking it into another. I suppose you could call that a hybrid, in a way.
Yeah.
GMO is hybrid. So I don't know.
Hybrid.
Lots of things are hybrids. I think it's taking something. I think it's yeah, it'd be interesting to look up the definition, but it seems to me like it's something complex, too complex.
Like multiple things.
Yeah.
Hybrid.
I don't know. When you stop and think about it, everything's hybrid. That's not a hybrid.
My car's a hybrid.
Yeah, your car's a hybrid. But see, the first car was a hybrid too, right? They took a buggy, like four-wheeled thing, and they put an engine in it, and they made it a hybrid.
Mm.
I don't know. Maybe I'm stretching
it.
All right. On that note.
All right. Well, I hope to see some wonderful hybrid films.
Hybrid films. Yeah, maybe just mash up some films and call it a hybrid.
Yeah, just this is a hybrid of my two previous minute movies.
Like Kirk could just take all 38 of his minute movies and play 1 second of each, and he would do something brand new for Kirk, which is make a film that's less than 1 minute.
Wow, a hybrid of all of his films. Wow.
Okay.
We'll see you all next month.
Next month.
Hopefully we'll have a few more films too.
Ciao.
Wow.
Yeah. Thanks, everybody.